been a tough few months for a lot of recruitment businesses. The recruitment industry is normally one of the first industries to really feel the impact of a recession, but it's also one of the first industries to bounce back. So we've gone out and we've asked quite a few recruitment experts what they think will happen in the next 12 months in the recruitment sector. If you want my opinion, I think the sector will change to become more of an employer's market. I think employers will be required to have more flexibility around their working practices, and there's going to be a lot more working from home. There's going to be smaller office spaces, so working from home is going to be essential. When looking and acquiring new staff, employers are going to be looking for those working from home capabilities, those that are self-driven and able to achieve results without being in an office environment. And that's going to change how you recruit for your clients. I think the recruitment industry is going to have more startups. This time where recruitment consultants have been furloughed will give them the chance to rethink what they want to do with their lives. I've actually had quite a few recruitment startup inquiries recently. And I also think those businesses that have really taken this time to reevaluate their business will come out stronger than ever. Those businesses that are using COVID-19 as a learning curve in terms of where was their infrastructure in place to be able to get everyone to work from home? Do they need the office space that you actually got? Did you have the financial performance figures available to make decisions quickly, where you're able to adapt quickly to the changing circumstances? If you can learn from this pandemic, then your business will be stronger than ever. So that's all from me. I'm now going to pass over to the other experts to see what they have to say. I hope you find this video useful.
The recruitment market in 12 to 18 months' time is going to be more client-led than it's been in a very long time. Clients are going to be looking for contract staff while they gauge what's happening in a future economy. And I think there's going to be a whole load of new startups with people feeling it's time for them to do it on their own. The world of work is changing. That will change in the recruitment market with smaller offices, more people with flexible and agile hours, and there is still money to be made and a service to give.
There is going to be a huge talent pool out there, lots of people, very skilled individuals that no longer have jobs.
But the recruiter needs to demonstrate that they can match these people well to the positions coming in and show their prospective clients that.
The world needs great recruiters at the moment, and so it's a great time of opportunity.
There's going to be more of an emphasis to make better and more meaningful connections.
And personalization has always been, something so important to recruitment. I think people want to feel like they're, being championed.
And I think video is going to be such a key point of that, just to replace that lack of human contact.
You need to be visible. You need to be a beacon of authority and trust.
It's just a question of making some noise. I mean, you need, if you're not out there, if you're not reaching out to people, and if you're not, attempting to be visible, then, the danger is that these great candidates are going to pass you by.
And what will the new normal world of work look like post-coronavirus for us all in the recruitment industry? Well, it's an amazing opportunity to really move your business forward into the digital era, using video platforms to present candidates and clients, and utilizing the emotional intelligence, the influencing skills of you and your people to really accelerate the number of opportunities, both in terms of building trusted advisor positioning with customers, but also to influence and speed up decisions. Here's the chance that we have to really provide consultative services rather than old analog methods of purely sending CVs and hiding behind keyboards and screens. This is our chance, people, to really do something and really provide an amazingly good service to the clients and candidates that work with us, the sort of service we've always wanted to provide.
From a legal perspective, recruitment companies will be primarily focused on the recovery from the coronavirus pandemic, getting people off furlough and back into work, and the various legal implications that might flow from that process. In the medium term, there may be some redundancies and restructuring which requires legal input, but also in the longer term, don't forget about the off-payroll working rules, which were supposed to come into effect this April, but which will now come into effect in April 2021. So plenty to look forward to.
As businesses move from survival mode in preparation for the return, we've seen three major themes emerge. Number one, security. After facing the immediate challenges of setting up home working, for example, businesses are now concerned about protecting their data and their compliance obligations. Secondly, remote working presents not just challenges but opportunities too. Opportunities for cost savings in office space, for example. But you have to ensure that staff are provided with a secure business grade experience from their home working environment. And finally, businesses are changing their operating models from a traditional fixed-based cost model to more flexible cost-based models. And they're looking at outsourcing to help them do this.
In the next 12 to 18 months, the phrase that springs to mind is regeneration. Businesses are currently taking on a lot of debt and there are a few more difficult decisions to be made. It will take us longer than 12 to 18 months to fully recover. However, after a period of consolidation and contraction, I expect confidence to return as we move through next year. The recruitment sector has always led from the front when coming through challenging times, and I expect this time to be no different. We'll see businesses lead the way on how culture looks in the new normal, and commercially, those of us that have planned effectively will survive and flourish as the market strengthens. There will be plenty of opportunities for grabbing market share for existing and newly formed SMEs.
Recruitment, a one-stop shop for matching skills with new requirements. Furloughed flight attendants worked in the NHS during the pandemic. Ford manufacturing teams made ventilators instead of cars. Skills can be rediscovered, reapplied, and redeployed. Perhaps this is COVID-19's gift to us?
Regarding the future of mergers and acquisitions in the recruitment sector post-COVID-19. Traditionally, recruitment agencies have always been valued on the basis of historic earnings. However, the blip or discrepancy caused by lock-in or COVID-19 causes a problem in that respect. As a result, we are probably going to see more use of prolonged earnouts in sales of recruitment agencies. An earnout is an arrangement where part of the purchase price is payable in the future and is conditional on the future earnings or amount of earnings of the recruitment agency, say in 2 or 3 years. In addition, similar to post the financial crisis in 2008, we're also likely to see more partial exits whereby sellers sell, let's say, 50% of their shares now with the balance of their shares subject to put and call options exercisable at some point in the future. The benefit from a seller's perspective by using a partial exit is that if the value of the company continues to rise in the coming years, they will be able to benefit from that rise in value when they sell the balance of their shares.
What's recruitment going to be like over the next 12 to 18 months? It's going to be a battle for those to survive. So if you want the accolade of peacetime, you've got to work hard through the war, which means as leaders, you've got to inspire your team and inspire your staff. You've got to deliver your mission statement and your values back to your team, back to your staff. You've got to work hard to create value for your clients and your candidates, which is all about you inspiring as a leader. So to live through the battle, you've got to live your mission statement and deliver it to all.
So as we go into half 2 2020, I think our business will start to develop new relationships and opportunities in sectors that haven't necessarily been our traditional place. We won't move away from being deep specialists in the areas that we do provide recruitment services to, but in addition to new clients, I strongly suspect that we'll be adding in products and services around the recruitment piece, which gives us more access to revenue and opportunity. Personally, we're quite excited about the rest of the year.
The recruitment market in the next 12 to 18 months is going to be operating against a backdrop of potentially a sea of candidates that you can't necessarily help depending on what sector you're recruiting into. And also it's going to be a very client-led market. So adding value to your clients through good content is going to be important in terms of giving yourself a differentiator, but equally being able to signpost candidates that you can't help to good content that helps them in their career so they go away with a good feeling about your brand for the future is going to be equally important. So get that content strategy right now, and that will stand you in good stead for unlocking that lockdown.
So we know that in recruitment, moving forward, everything's going to have to be done remotely and online. And that's not new, that's been the case for 2 months. But what I think we're starting to see now is that every agency wants to know, how do I make the most impact when I engage with candidates and clients? Before, you would have the safety net of a traditional face-to-face meeting, even if that first call hadn't gone so well. But now what we're starting to talk to them about is actually how do we use technology to bridge that gap and make every conversation succinct and concise.
So these are my top 3 predictions for the US staffing market in the next 12 to 18 months. Number 1, I think we'll see a lot more employers accessing remote talent, whether that's remote workers in the US, in other states of the US, or potentially even the whole globe, the global talent pool that is now available. Number 2, we'll see increased scrutiny in engaging with independent contractors and 1099s. Due to the reaction to the COVID-19 crisis, we'll see increased scrutiny moving forward. And number 3, we were predicting a bounce back in the US staffing market, and that's what I'm hearing from pretty much all of the experts out there. As and when industries get back to some form of normality and start reopening and a lot more hiring gets done, we see a significant bounce back in the US market coming.
So I want to talk about what this might all mean for how you run your business in the future. Last week I talked to a recruitment owner. His business is 5 years old. He has 25 people. He doesn't have an office. He hires people from all around the country. They work from home. They communicate by Microsoft Teams. Once a month they come together in London for a half day in a meeting room to talk about the business and to plan ahead. He thinks this is the future. What did he know? And what does it mean for you?
The question is, what will the next 12 to 18 months look like? Well, I think first and foremost, it's going to be incredibly difficult and it's going to be a real challenge with lots of hard work. But I think ultimately it's going to be a test which will point towards the survival of the fittest, and recruitment agencies that are coming up with new ideas and offering increased service levels to both candidates and clients will be the people that survive this really difficult period that we're all going to face. Thank you.
So that's it from us. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to find out more, you can go to our recruitment accountants website, or you can check out our COVID-19 section on our UHY website. Thanks very much for your time.